Hi everybody, this is Michelle with Country Craft Creations and Creative Operation, and I'm here today to share with you my second design team project that I'm doing for this month using Authentique's Hooray paper line, and it's really super cute, really cute birthday stuff. And if you saw my last video, I did a banner album project that is really super cute because it is not only a decoration for a birthday party, but it is also an album for afterwards. And the thing I like about this paper line is that it's for kids and grown-ups. So, you know, go to Country Craft Creations, get this. It's really, really, really cute. And it is, again, for grown-ups. It is for kids. It's an all-purpose birthday party line, and it's just adorable. So, I made the banner album. That was my first design team project. This is my second project using this, and I'm calling this my gift box album. And, you know, the paper is a birthday line, and, you know, I'm thinking birthday, and I'm thinking, you know, presents. So I wanted to create an album in a box that looked like a present that's all packaged up, ready to open, and then after the party, you have an album. So anyway, that's what I made today. I do have to tell you that this is the third reincarnation of this project. I redid it 3 times trying to figure out and make sure that, you know, I had everything just so. So I've been working really hard on this, and I started to film the tutorial while I was actually making this particular box, but it didn't go as well as I wanted it to. So I aborted. I went ahead and finished the album. We're going to do a share right now, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to do the tutorial using different papers that I did get from Country Craft Creations, but they're not these design team papers. And I apologize for that. I don't know why I had such a horrible time getting the tutorial done. I made this album, like I said, this is the third one. The first 2 turned out beautiful. But, you know, that's what's happened in the craft world. Sometimes, you know, it just doesn't quite go as planned. So there you go. So let's go through the walkthrough here, and then I will come back and get the tutorial done, hopefully in the next couple days. So, I used, also that came in the design team package, I do have to say, I got some Cartabella Dots paper. So I did use that. You'll see that on the bottom of the box. But the rest was the papers from the design team package. I also used red artisan cardstock from Country Craft Creations, and I used ivory cardstock from Country Craft Creations. In the tutorial, I will give you the cutting list and the cutting guides for the cardstock and for both colors. I do not give cutting lists for the pattern paper or cutting guides, those visual ones that I'll have a link to in the description for pattern paper, because you may not do it exactly as I did it. So, but I will give it to you in all the measurements and everything for the cardstock. So again, this is an album in a box, so it does look like a wrapped present. And I decorated the front with seam binding, and that's what's keeping it closed, so you can actually pick the whole thing up like that. And then I used the stickers from the collection backed on cardstock, and then I added some enamel dots that I had in my stash. So that's the decoration on the top of the box, along with these flowers that I had in my stash. I did a pretty little floral arrangement that just kind of finished the look of it. So when you open up the box, and I did 2 colors of seam binding, and I just matched them to the cardstock that I used on the outside of the album. So it's attached to the bottom, so the lid just lifts right off. And then you'll turn the lid over, and then in here I have created a flap that you could put a big picture on. So this is the ivory cardstock that I was talking about. I decorated it with some of my flowers from my stash. And then it lifts up, and then if you can see this, it has another flap where you could put another big picture, and then it also has a 1/2 inch box here that you could put your cards in. So after the party, you get some birthday cards, you could tuck them in there. I used 2 magnets on this because I wanted to make sure that when, you know, it's closed and it's upside down, they won't fall out. And so 2 large magnets really worked well for this. But it has a nice 1/2 inch space in here. I'll show you how to put that pocket in there. And I also reinforced the edge of it so that it would be nice and sturdy. So that is the top of the box. And then when you open it up, here is, so this was folded up inside that lid. And then when you open it up, it turns into a pretty little album. So this again, authentic Hooray papers, and they're just absolutely adorable. The album pages are attached to the side of the box. And so when you open it up, it just kind of nicely folds out like a nice little kind of waterfall type thing. And then they fold up nice and easy. On the side here, this is the quote that's on the papers. Authentic always puts a quote on their paper for their collection, and I just really loved it. So I wanted to kind of showcase that in the album. It says, "There are two great days in a person's life, the day we are born and the day we discover why," by William Barclay. And I just thought that was really, really super cute. So I just cut that strip out and backed it on cardstock, and I used it in my album, and I think it turned out really, really cute. So on the front here, this has 3 pages to this, and on the front here is a nice little waterfall piece. So this section here is nice and big. It ties with the ribbon closure. On the front here, I had a balloon punch in my stash that I've had for 100 years. And I just tied some twine to them. I raised them up with some pop dots and then tied a little piece of seam binding that came with the package around, so it looks like a little bouquet of balloons on the front here. And then when you open that up, you have a nice place for a picture on this side, and then you have some great pages, nice spaces. This is big enough for a 4x6 picture. And then they just waterfall open. I used stickers that I backed on cardstock and left it so that you could put a picture underneath, and again used an enamel dot there. Here's one of the stickers from the collection as well. And so there's just a nice waterfall type page on the front of the first page, and then it just ties nicely together into a nice little bow. So I did that. So then on the back of page 1, I had my idea, you know, was to have a nice big photo opportunity here. So again, you could put a really nice big photo. These pages are 6.5 by 6.5, and the whole box itself is 7 by 7, and it is about 3 inches tall. So that's the size of the album. Lots of room to put things. So I just decorated with stickers from the collection and some enamel dots. On the front of page 2, I created a gatefold page, just a real simple gatefold page. But then here, if you could see this, I took little scraps of the papers here, and I glued a strip of twine in it, and then rolled it up to make candles. It's a birthday album. You have to have candles and balloons, right? So I made 3 candles, and I just rolled them up, and I used my art glitter glue, and then I glued them together and then glued them on the page and put a little flower here at the base of the candles. So that's really cute. And then this is one of the cut-aparts. This says Make a Wish. Now this album is kind of more kid aimed. The banner project that I did was more adult themed. So anyways, and so this just opens up gatefold, and it has a magnet closure. And then I just put a sticker on the back, or on top of a piece of cardstock, and then, you know, kept it raised up so you could slip a picture behind, and then kept this nice and open for pictures. And that just closes like that. This is one of the dots papers. I used a couple of those in this project that I got with the collection, so I used that. On the back of page 2, we have a nice big pocket opportunity, and then I used 2 of the cut-aparts, and then I just backed them on cardstock and put them in the pocket. And then here is a sticker on top of the pattern paper. And then in my stash, I had these paper clips. And honestly, I don't even know where I got them. I think I got them at a convention like a million years ago. But the colors kind of fit the project, so I used them. And I tied a little piece of seam binding around it. So it's just kind of a cute little embellishment. And then here, this came with the present paper clip. So it says Happy Birthday. These are just paper clips. They put them on the belly band here. So I was thinking present. So this kind of, to me, looks like a present. So actually, this doesn't untie, so don't untie it, Michelle. I just tied a bow with a couple pieces of seam binding to make it kind of fluffy. It squished a little bit when I closed the book, but there's a bow on top, and then it's kind of a belly band opening, and then there's a belly band here. So to me, it kind of looked like a present, so it'll kind of keep everything in there. And then I took a piece of the pattern paper. This collection did not have 4x6 cut apart, so I just used a piece of the leftover paper and backed it on cardstock, and then created a photo mat with that, and that just tucks in there. So you could fit a lot of loose pictures in here. You could make more photo mats if you want. Totally up to you. Back of page 3 is just like the back of page 1, just a great big photo mat with a sticker backed on cardstock. And then on the inside of the album, you could either do this pocket vertical or horizontal, but because of the paper that I chose, I wanted to make it vertical to show off the paper once you take the tags out. And again, this is a piece of the pattern paper that was left over that I just backed on cardstock and one of the cut aparts, and then that just tucks in there. So you can see this album has a lot of room to put things, and there's 1/2-inch gussets between all of the pages, so you could fill this up really nicely. It is indented in here on purpose, 1 inch instead of a 1/2 inch, because I wanted to make room for any embellishments that you put on the lid, you know, to kind of fit inside. And then just this album just folds up really nice and neat, and it tucks in like this, and you tie the bow around it, and you are good to go. So this is my project. I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to work on the tutorial and get it out as soon as I can. What did I do there? I created an extra loop somewhere. Anyway, I hope you like it. It was a lot of fun to put together. Not real happy with having to do the tutorial over again, but you know, hey, that's what happens. So anyway, there's my project. I hope you like it. Go to Country Craft Creations, get your red and ivory artisan cardstock, get Authentique's Hooray collection, and gather up your embellishments, and let's make a gift box album. Thanks for watching, and I will see you really soon. Have a good day.